They're given all the chance in the world versus Nongchen Red.
Hello. Bhai, Jai Shri Krishna, brother. Welcome back to another live stream.
Tianbin just had a massive turnaround.
बस मुझे check कर
But
दो.
these things happen. Some mistakes happen.
ठीक,
Oh,
audio
dude,
video सब
I
clear है?
forgot that you're like
तो
right
भाई
at the
कैसे हो
finish
सारे
line.
के सारे यार जो भी stream पर आ रहा है
I've
एक
got
like
like
और
some
एक
more
subscribe
steps
कर
to
देना
go.
और भाई
You got it. But hey, you know
I'm
what? That's
very
what it's all
excited
about. You just
कि
take things
हमारी
one
इंडिया
step
यानी कि
at
दो
a time. No
teams
matter
हमारे
what
पहुंच
kind
चुकी
of
हैं यानी कि
situation you
OG
put
और
in,
गॉर्डन.
you gotta just figure
क्या
things
कहने भाई
out
गॉर्डन को तो आज तक बस
and
हमेशा
make it
खेती हुई
happen.
है यार.
Yeah. Take
As
another
you
one. Take
know.
another one.
लेकिन
Sometimes you gotta take a mulligan.
हिस्ट्री क्रिएट करने वाली टीम बन चुकी है भाई ये.
Little combination
हिस्ट्री क्रिएट
shot.
कर दिया भाई इस टीम ने.
I like
मतलब
it. I like
मानो
it.
भाई मतलब
I've
कोई
lined you
नहीं
up.
पहुंचा आज तक
You're
यहाँ
lined
पे.
up, you're ready to
Last
go.
time K9 गई थी.
Look, I've
ठीक
created a
है.
runway for you.
K9
Look.
का परफॉर्मेंस आपने देखा
Say-
होगा.
You come down
बहुत
here,
ही
you go in this back
बहुत
pocket.
ही एवरेज है. बहुत
Yeah.
मतलब बिलो एवरेज.
I've got the lights. I've got the lights.
लेकिन
I'm guiding you home, dude. I'm guiding you home.
डे 1 तो छोड़ो. डे 1 भले इनको जैसा मर्जी किया हो लेकिन डे 2 और डे 3 में भाई डे 2 में जो कमबैक करा
Okay,
है.
that was a real. That was a real. The lights, they guided him home. It was good to see. Let's hope that some of these teams can get themselves guided home to a victory
और
at
ओजी
the
ने भाई
end of PMWC here at
मत
EWC.
बोलो
Thanks for
यार,
watching. My name's
insane level
Blank,
के
and
लिए
this
यार
right
इस
here is
Hot jukes.
Catch you guys later.
फिंगर क्रॉस. आई विश और आई वांट के जीते यार टीम इंडिया. सभी जितने भी अपनी इंडियन ई स्पोर्ट कम्युनिटी है. ठीक है. और जितने हमारे गेमर्स लगे पड़े अपने स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं यार उनको भी एक अच्छा सा पाथ मिल जाएगा बराबर. और सपोर्ट हो जाएगा और उनको भी कि हाँ कुछ कर सकते हैं हम लोग. ऐसा नहीं रहेगा कि भाई बस मेहनत करते आ रहे हैं कुछ उनको रिजल्ट नहीं मिल रहा. यस यू विल गेट द चांस यार एटलीस्ट. यार जितने भी स्ट्रीम देख रहे हो ना एक लाइक और एक सब्सक्राइब कर देना बस यार. इतना ही बोलूंगा मैं. और लास्ट 55 सेकंड्स रह गए इसके बाद भाई मैच स्टार्ट होने वाला है. स्टार्ट किया अभी तो फ्रेंड टीम्स की एंट्री होगी भाई. पाकिस्तान की टीम है, ब्राजील की टीम है, जापानीज है, चाइना है, इंडिया की दो टीम है भाई. अनबिलीवेबल. सीरियसली भाई अनबिलीवेबल. मजा आ जाएगा भाई देखने में. और तुमको क्या लगता है भाई इस पर मतलब डे 1 पे कौन ऊपर रहेगा या कौन हैशटैग टॉप 3 बता दो यार कौन सी टॉप 3 रहने वाली है ऊपर ऊपर में डे 1 के एंड पे. For the very first time I'm doing this watch party. I'm quite nervous. I'm doing streaming sometimes, but yeah. मैच स्टार्ट होने को है ना. इंट्रो वगैरह सब दे रहे हैं आपस में. शॉर्ट स्ट्रीम ट्राई करूँ क्या इस पे. ट्राई करके देखता हूँ अगर होता है तो ठीक है वरना कोई दिक्कत नहीं है यार. PMWC watch party 2026 finals right @PUBG Mobile #PUBG #PUBG Mobile. कर दो भाई जो भी स्ट्रीम है स्ट्रीम पर आ रहा लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कर देना. हाँ नेक्स्ट लेवल सर्वाइवल स्टेज होने वाला भाई. देख लेना तुम.
Just too much of a mess. It's just too much of a mess here.
डे 1 स्टार्ट होने को है भाई, बहुत तगड़ा मैच होने वाला है। स्क्रीन कास्ट नेक्स्ट को क्या हाल है दोस्तों, कैसे हो भाई? सभी जो भी स्ट्रीम पर आ रहे लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कर देना, ठीक है? वॉच पार्टी करेंगे भाई, मस्त एकदम। और जो भी स्ट्रीम देख रहा है, मैं वही बोलूंगा, एक लाइक और एक सब्सक्राइब कर देना भाई। तुम लोगों का भाई वॉच पार्टी करेगा। बोलो तुम, ऐसे करके दिखा दूंगा मैं, ठीक है? या फिर मैं ऐसे करके दिखा दूंगा, जैसा मर्जी बोलो तुम लोग। कैसे करना है ये बताओ मुझे जल्दी जल्दी फटाफट। पबजी मोबाइल, ये वाला लगाएंगे है ना? कर दो भाई, लाइक सब्सक्राइब कर दो जो भी आ रहा है फटाफट से।
Didn't get a chance to make it here to the finals, but that boy almost ended up blowing himself up.
I mean, sometimes you just got to strategically place a nade right into your pocket.
Or sometimes you just want to call one of those cover flares and let it splash you.
And if you think about it, they still were able to do some incredible stuff. But of course, Alpha 7 is one of our
भाई ये
teams
सब
that
बाहर
didn't
हो गई,
make
ये
it through
बुरा लगा
today.
यार।
Yeah, didn't make it
Obviously
through. That
बात
could have
है।
been why. But
मतलब
Aura
उसने भी
is
काफी
one of
मेहनत
those
करी
teams
है।
that made it here, and Sleepy is going to be hoping that he is not sleepy today because he's like, Lace, wake up. Because if he does end up doing that, it could end up costing them the championship.
It could definitely end up costing them the championship. And of course,
Yeah,
all
I
our
just like
teams
it.
today need to lock in and prepare for what's to come. Because it's going to be a bit of a grueling day for them all. But I mean, you know, that's the news that we love to bring you. We want to bring you the action and the love. But we want to crush some keys most of all.
Yeah, I want to see which keys are going to be getting crushed. But in case you missed it, we do have special reporter Kalaris giving you the STC rewind.
But the thing is that Rondo, the first map, is like ridiculous.
तो भाई पहला मैच अपना होने वाला रोंडो का है ना?
39 points of world record. And that team
पहला मैच लाडले, बहुत पॉइंट निकलने वाले हैं। जो भी टीम पहले राउंडो में खींच गई तो समझ लेना वो डोमिनेट करने वाली है आज का पूरा पूरा दिन। जैसे पहला दिन आपने देखा होगा ईए ने पूरा डोमिनेट कर रहा था।
We are
जब
very sorry to all our
ग्रुप 2
viewers
का
at
वो था मैच,
home. One of our casters
तो
got a little bit
उसने
too
पूरा
comfy.
पहले
Now,
देखा जो ईए ने
production,
पूरा डोमिनेट
let's
करता उसके बाद तो
please
भाई
throw it to Kalaris. with the
गॉर्डन ने ले ली
STC
थी भाई
rewind.
पटक के।
I want a massage.
From PMWC, day 1 here at EWC 26 for the finals, and we have got ourselves an absolute treat. Here for the STC Rewind, we're going to look back at everything that's gone on so far, Max. Groups to start things off. Group A and B, the leaders looked fantastic coming through into the final.
Yeah, I mean, of course, looking at Group A in particular, it was the Pakistani domination with 4 thrives getting so many points, and really the one word to describe their performance is consistency. Every single player putting points on the board. In particular, Falak, right, being the Group MVP, was looking incredible, but so were Group B with vitality.
Very dangerous indeed. The smiling assassin in Falak for sure. I think he looks fantastic. And yeah, vitality on the opposite side of things though. Record-breaking results to say the least. Day number 1, 108 points for them. Meant that they didn't really even have to matter what was going on in day number 2 for their groups. But they came out kind of swinging as well. Finishing off at 148 points. I think just an insane result from them.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible, especially looking at Federalis with the insane peaks he was doing there. Just almost breaking the game at times. Incredible performance from them. And also the duo Ray Ray. But looking now at the teams who are in second place of their groups, right? The Indian teams of Orangutan and also Godlike. One big question I do have today, Kalaris, is that they do not have the smash ruling in their home region. So if they do get into a point where they can contend for that number 1 spot in day 3, how are they going to be reacting to that smash ruling?
It's a good question then. For a long time, an infinite amount of time in fact, they've never really truly been in a lot lobby quite this
What
powerful.
the smash
The
rule diya
chips are all
lala.
down here at PMWC, so we'll see how they're going to be able to work that out. However,
rule में
I
होता
think
है,
that some of their consistent play
कोई भी
style,
team
really
अगर
locking down areas and then
100+
eventually
पॉइंट
being
कर
able
जाती
to
है,
adapt as
भले वो
time
day
goes
1
on.
हो, day
Hopefully
2
they've
हो
had enough time to
या
be able
day 3 हो, ठीक है, वो कोई सा भी डे हो, डजंट मैटर। अगर स्मैश रूल में होता है, अगर कोई भी टीम 110 पॉइंट ले जाए, उसके बाद तुरंत अगर कोई टीम चिकन निकाल लेती है, भले ही वो हैशटैग 4 पे बैठी हो, 5th पे बैठी हो, कोई सी पोजीशन में बैठी हो, नो मैटर्स, लेकिन 110 पॉइंट के बाद उसने चिकन ले लिया, भाई वो टूर्नामेंट जीत गई। तो गॉडल, ओजी, इन दोनों को ये बहुत अच्छे से देख कर रखना होगा कि ऐसी कोई चीज ना हो, ऐसा कोई सीन क्रिएट ना हो कि भाई कोई भी टीम सामने लिए 110 के ऊपर जा रही है और तुम उसको नहीं डिफेंड कर पा रहे हो। तो बेटर ये है, अगर लगता है तो भाई उसको मार दो यार। भाई ड्रॉप फाइट के अलावा कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है अपने पास, फिर आपको ड्रॉप फाइट पे ही जाना पड़ेगा। एक सेकंड दे दो बस। हाँ, अरे क्या चल रहा है इनके इंट्रो में भाई? यार ऑडियो वीडियो सब क्लियर है ना भाई? जितने भी लोग स्ट्रीम देख रहे हो, एक लाइक और एक सब्सक्राइब कर दो भाई चैनल, एक लाइक और एक सब्सक्राइब कर दो बस, ज्यादा नहीं। क्या लगता है भाई पूरा मैच कौन डोमिनेट करने वाला है? आज का डे 1, सिर्फ डे 1 की बात करेंगे, आज कौन डोमिनेट करेगा?
got eliminated.
भाई अब स्टार्ट होने वाली है टीम्स की एंट्री। इस ट्रॉफी के लिए सभी लोग फाइट करने जा रहे हैं, देख सकते हो भाई। यहाँ से भाई इनकी फाइट शुरू हो जाएगी। बहुत टाइम से फाइट चली रही है इस चीज के लिए। एजीएल, फैल्कन, एनवी, टीम वर्टिलिटी, विट्रस प्रो, सभी है भाई, बहुत है। 16 टीम है भाई, जिसमें 5 टीम राउंड 1, 5 राउंड मतलब ग्रुप 1, ग्रुप 2, 5-5, 6 टीम गई थी हमारी सर्वाइवल स्टेज से।
TC Arena. A little bit of a repeat here because we also have Falcons in the running, and we're also keeping our eyes on Vitality, which could be a big one, as Vitality is in 4th overall in our CC leaderboard. But as we take a look towards our stage at PUBG Mobile, we get Vitality yet again. They are one of our big teams expected to do well, but the real question is, will the likes of Four Thrives, Orangutan, or even Tiamba take those points away from them? Will Vitality be able to usurp Falcons or AGAL? This is the perfect week and opportunity for them to do so. We're going to have a lot of updates coming your way over the next couple days, and as we know more, of course, we'll make sure to let you know.
Thank you to our special reporting, being able to cut class and just do that CC update. Thank you, Glitter. But we gotta talk about Sony's story of the day.
That's really
And there's some teams, Lace, that have just been outperforming like crazy. Vitality being one of those.
Of course, Vitality, they were able to get the exact same score that For Thrives did over 2 days. So if you don't understand how much of a juggernaut team this is, well, then you better wait and lock in.
Yeah, another one that we saw there as well is Godlike. I personally have Godlike finishing in the top 5. This team, for a first international event from India, they have been performing so well. And is that Snacks Gaming that I see? By turn left.
Oh, Snacks.
Can I say hello, bye? It's got, maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him later on. But we do have some more special reporters, none other than Maxman and Amatura. Let's see what they're up to.
यहाँ भाई ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है यार कि इंडियन गेमिंग कम्युनिटी से पहली बार किसी को इनवाइट करा गया है। मतलब बीच टूर्नामेंट में, तो मान सकते हैं मतलब कितना 450 प्लस 450K प्लस कुछ वॉचिंग गई थी स्नैक्स भाई की ये ग्रुप 2 में। वहाँ भाई रिकॉर्ड ब्रेकिंग। और ये हमारी टीम गॉडल की स्टैट्स लगाए एस पावर सॉन्ग में एडमिनो मान्य भाई 4 रुपए का गोट भाई। भले मानने कि तुम केडी देख सकते हो 0.58 की है, इट डजंट मीन, लेकिन भाई हर मैच में तुम देखना, हर मैच में अपना जोन होल्ड करा है भाई गॉडल ने। हर मैच में जोन को होल्ड करके रखा है। ये रियल आईजीएल की पहचान है यार। ये वो वाली फाइट थी जब S2G और 4v4 प्रॉपर जो फाइट चल रही थी गॉडल S2G की। गॉडल
Like
लगे
a lot of
भाई
people, especially when it comes to God, like are
कमी नहीं
highlighting,
छोड़ी
you
है
know,
भाई
they're looking at
सामने
S
वाले
Power,
दिखाने
they're
में
looking at
कि
Admino. I want to say Some in particular has been doing absolutely fantastic for the entirety of Godlikes. You can see a little bit of a B shot there, them getting ready for this event. But you know what? Godlike is one of the many teams that are going to be here trying to compete for that trophy this weekend. But you know what? I feel like we need an extra analyst possibly to join the desk right here. But we have to summon him.
Oh, yes.
Niptro, so you're ready? 3, 2, 1.
भाई वो जो
Vitality. Oh no! Oh,
कौन
then
सा
what?
नहीं
Okay, wait,
होता
wait.
के
Time
भाई
two.
जो
Okay, wait, we're
फाइट
going to do it one more time.
Yeah.
वो भी अच्छा था।
Vitality!
Why
So Vitality, what are we thinking, Blank?
Hi there, my name is Blank, special reporter coming in for Vitality.
सभी टीम है भाई, 16 टीम है भाई, छोटी मोटी बात नहीं है। इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे मैच है, ठीक है। पबजी मोबाइल का भी इंटरनेशनल लेवल का मैच है। और हमारी 2 इंडियन टीम्स गई हुई है, ओरेंगोटन जो कि ROIGL कर रहे हैं, और हमारी गॉडल जो इसमें मान्य IGL कर रहा है। भाई कमी किसी चीज की नहीं है भाई अपनी इंडियन टीम में, दोनों टीमें गई हैं। लेकिन हाँ लास्ट टाइम मतलब अब जो मैंने नोटिस करा मतलब कि ये लास्ट मोमेंट में जो गॉर्डन ने अपना ड्रॉप चेंज करा है, ये थोड़ा हो सकता है मतलब तुम दूर दूर रह के तुम पूरी लॉबी खत्म कर सकते थे, तुमने आपस में क्यों लड़ना डिसाइड करा भाई? आपस में फाइट करने से क्या होगा भाई, मुझे ये बता दो तुम। क्या छोड़ाओ, मैच कुछ ही देर में स्टार्ट होने वाला होगा यार। इसी को थोड़ी देर बंद कर देते हैं, ठंड लग रही है।
Can get so many wins. We were talking about that in the group stage, right? We get so many of those wins. It makes it interesting for that smash rule that we actually could have a lot of hope for this team to actually come through the pressure and get that win.
Yeah, it's very nice to like 4 thrives. They can actually get wins because if they do gain contention for the smash ruling and the trophy, actually that could put them in a really good contention to be crowned your PMWC 2026 champions. Now, we already talked about one of the Indian teams. I think it's time to focus on the other Indian team, which is going to be Orangutan, Niptura. You already talked about them, so Blank, Orangutan, what are we thinking today?
You know what? I think Orangutan for them. I think right now they're looking very, very good. I think a lot of the emphasis though has to be on Aru though. I got to talk to him a fair few times this event. Lovely guy, by the way. Really, really lovely guy. Great chatter. I mean, I talk a lot. I talk a lot, you see. And I think that's sometimes a problem for other people. But for Aru, good as me. I could just sit there and listen to him all day. But he's bringing a lot of the eliminations. He's also bringing a lot of the guidance to the squad. Now, there were a couple of moments. I think we're actually seeing on screen now one of those moments, which was a little bit difficult right now for Orangutan. They moved up on this one versus Flash. They struggled a little bit on the gunfight. However, they ended up winning that game. It looked a little bit shaky. I think that they solved a lot of the issues coming after that. But yeah, I do think the rest of the team needs to develop around Aru, essentially.
Yeah, I think Aru's got some great ideas and he's got some great direction. It's just that synergy that has to come through. I think probably there's a little bit of, I don't want to say the word panic, that's a very strong word, but when you are in these high pressure situations, it's your first PMWC, whatever, you are going to go, oh my God, they're everywhere. And you're going to have a little bit of a freak out, and they've really worked on that. They've solved so much of that. And so, yeah, it is looking really, really nice for them. So very, very hope.
कितना टाइम लगाएंगे यार ये लोग अपनी टीम्स को बुलाने में यार, जल्दी बुलाओ भाई। पूरा इंडिया वेट कर रहा है मैच का, भाई कर दो। पूरा इंडिया वेट कर रहा है लाला, कर दो ना मैच स्टार्ट प्लीज प्लीज। स्टोरी लगाता हूँ मैं, रुको ना यार। रुको, इस पे नहीं लगाता मैं। इसके वो आते हैं ना भाई, फिल्टर वगैरह आते हैं कुछ यार। इस पे लगाऊंगा। यहाँ से फोटो, ये यहाँ से एक लिंक। भाई जो भी स्ट्रीम पर है, एक लाइक और एक सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर देना मेरी जान। कहाँ गया है लिंक वाला ऑप्शन? हाँ ये रहा, पेस्ट, डन। हो गया।
Kalaris, who's going to be looking for none other than John Allen.
Our reporter for PUBG Mobile here at PMWC.
यार ये स्ट्राइक ना मार दे यार, इस वजह से मुझे म्यूट करके रखना पड़ रहा थोड़ी देर। अगर इन लोगों ने स्ट्राइक मार दी तो मेरा पूरा काम खराब हो जाएगा यार। ऐसे थोड़ी चलता है यार, ये तो गलत बात हो गई ना यार। रुको यार, एक बार फिर से करना पड़ेगा मुझे स्टोरी वाला सीन। I tried so hard. In the air. करें, स्टार्ट करें भाई। कर देंगे स्टार्ट, बोलो। कर देंगे स्टार्ट, बोलो। चल यार, सभी अब टीम्स का एंटर कर रहा हूँ। एंट्री स्टार्ट होने के बाद चलते हैं। 20 सेकंड रह गए, 20 सेकंड के बाद भाई टीम्स की एंट्री स्टार्ट होगी, फिर उनका इंट्रोडक्शन होगा। 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 स्टार्ट। सो पहली टीम जो आने वाली है कौन सी होगी? कौन सी टीम होगी भाई बताओ?
Thousands of hours played and
पहले तो
sacrifices
एंकर ही आएगा
have
ना।
led to this point. Life-changing money sits on the horizon and a legacy that dreams are made of.
We saw it in the group stage, we saw it in the survival stage. These teams are here for a reason, and every single one of them can actually clutch it all and become a
ये ट्रॉफी है भाई, तुम इस ट्रॉफी को देख लो, इस ट्रॉफी को निहाल लो। ये या तो ओजी उठाएगी या फिर गॉडल उठाएगी। ये माइंडसेट लेके चलना कि हाँ भाई या तो ओजी के पास आनी चाहिए गॉडल के पास। यार इंडिया तो आनी चाहिए ट्रॉफी यार, ऐसा तो कर दो यार तुम लोग। स्टार्ट हो गए भाई।
Oof! Esports!
यूएलएफ लास्ट में याद है सर्वाइवल में यूएलएफ यूएलए की फाइट हुई थी। फ्यूरिया टीम फ्यूरिया।
Nongshim Red Force!
Al Hula Club Esports.
Tianba!
S2G Esports.
Nigma Galaxy!
Hoga Esports.
तुम बोलो यार ये ओजी और गॉडल को आप बुलाने वाले होंगे।
Team Flash!
Godlike Esports.
आ गई बेटे आ गई।
Aurora Gaming!
Ida Esports.
Orangutan!
ओजी का कमबैक।
Team Vitality.
And finally, Four Thrives Esports! We can't emphasize enough the importance of the next 3 days. On Sunday, we will crown the greatest team in the world. So start as you mean to go on.
Absolutely no room for mistake. If you want to be the best team in the world, you need to prove it from the very first day. The PMWC Finals at EWC 2026 starts right now!
चलो भाई स्टार्ट करते हैं। होने वाला अपना मैच स्टार्ट।
Players from all corners of the world laser focused on one thing, the title of PMWC champion. Fight smarter, adapt faster, and deliver when the pressure is at its peak. That is what it takes to keep this dream alive.
So welcome to the PMWC at EWC 2026.
And RRQ are looking to do it here. Pushing up close and personal. Meow! With the nade! Turning the tables! And he's doing this all by himself! It's the swan wipe! 1v!
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ, is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the
And
evens
that's
and
it!
burn yourself down to the ground. What a shutdown. 108 points in 6 matches. Nade misses, Darkin peaks. That's on target. Good shot. Follow up there. HG takes him away as Turney K falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun standoff, but will he win it? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida! S-Power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut him down that easy.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease.
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Paris. It's Godlike's time to shine.
You see on Rondo, it is madness in the Ox Factory.
Nice.
A big nade threaded on up, and it's finding one and two. Falak charges on forwards, and they're cutting the rosters in half.
Another one right up in his face. They go wide. Top's moving around the side. Aurora, a difficult beast to handle.
KRX तो भाई क्या ही बोलूँ मैं KRX तो bottom से नहीं उठ पाई भाई survival में.
The run coming through from India, but it's not happening. They will not be silenced. They will not be shut up here. Aru's still going strong. A tanky underneath, looking to get the shots in. But Flash moves around the side. He's whipping the shots, unfortunately. But finally, they will hit the last shot. India grabs the back-to-back. From day one to day two, this team looks clean.
It's time to crush some dreams of 10 teams. Can I get you to press this button and open up the iris? Oh, with a bit of vigor. I like it. I'd like you to pull on this in 3, 2, 1. Send them home. Let's go. There we go.
क्या है ये क्या चीज़ के लिए
I
भाई
don't
ये
think we could have set the stage better
किस चीज़ के लिए था वो
ourselves.
भाई
So it's ironic that we were featured
मुझे
in
बिल्कुल
that
समझ
nice
नहीं
little
आया
collection of replays there, Blank. An incredible way to give you a glimpse into what's gone on over the past couple days. But it's going to get even more climactic here. The best of the best return to the lobby, and this is where dreams truly do become reality.
I'm slouching, but hopefully the players aren't, because this is a day, right? Day one always gives you the most freedom, the most chance to get a big buffer online without that stress, because we saw that come through in survival stage.
Yeah.
Teams were sweating, teams were shaking in their boots, but it's time to get boots on the ground over on Rondo very, very soon for our first match of the day.
कैसे खेलने
Who's
तो
gonna
भाई ऐसे
grab
ऐसे कर
that
साला मेरे से तो
gargantuan point total? Can someone
ये
try and repeat
और ये
something
तो
similar
चलते
to
हैं बस
Arena?
मेरे भाई
Maybe not the same, because that's once in a lifetime type of a deal.
तभी
Well,
के लोग
if
आया
there was
मैं
the
यहाँ
time to pull it out, try and elevate a world record even further. Hey man, there's no better stage for it, no better crowd, no more excitement and anticipation than right here.
चलो
right
भाई
now,
फाइनली राउंड
live
स्टार्ट
from
होने
the
वाला है
Qiddiya City
लेट्स गो
grid at PMWC at EWC
गणपति बप्पा मोरया राधे राधे भाई
2026.
सभी
3
को
years of intense
wish everybody all the
competition.
best
Twice
guys
we've had brand new champions crowned, and this year we'll get another one.
Never going to be the same here at this rate, with Yangon being Yangon. It is time to crown a new victor.
स्टार्टिंग में
Who's
10-15
gonna be the
पॉइंट ले
defending
लेना
champion?
मतलब
Will they be able to defend it
राउंड
next
में
time?
ड्रॉप
But
फाइट
right
में
now, all
रिकॉल से
that
पहले पहले तो
matters
भाई
is getting those points
नेक्स्ट लेवल हो
online.
जाएगा भाई गेम
Playing
किसी का भी
back
किसी
is
भी टीम
in
का
the air for day one of finals, match one. Rondo, let's get it started.
Energy in the arena already. It's good to hear you, Paris. Let's keep that energy going throughout the day.
बॉर्डर
We'll set the
ओजी
stage
भाई
for you.
दोनों
So
इंडियन
get our
टीम
playing path
भाई
on board for this one. We've had some
Insane,
pretty
bhai,
good games
insane.
of Rondo, mate. You touched on E-Arena there. That was something to be remembered. But the consistency and the level of aggression we've seen from these teams back in their respective groups was intense. Now we put that all together. A big hodgepodge of talent. They're going to be stepping over each other, Blanks.
I mean, they will. They will have to, because there's going to be bodies on the ground shortly, as soon as these players start dropping in. E-Arena here, though, and teams do need to be worried. They've been taking this little odd stadium drop where they've been searching out players from different teams on their res beacon positions. Now, if you are
So,
remembering
Gordon
our game versus Alpha 7 just the
Naya
other day,
गॉडल करके जंप स्टेडियम गई है भाई गॉडल और S2G गई है हमारी टेस्ट ट्रैक जाएगी शायद
Let's see what the arena can get done because a lot of teams are going to be taking those res beacons towards the northwest side with this plane path as the fights do open up towards Yulin.
OG कहाँ गई OG?
Just how hot are these drops going to be and how much aggression is going to come out instantly. We see that opening knock from the side of 4 France.
लड़ाई है भाई और रहा है साथ OG अपने knock मीलू knock
Instantly being knocked off their feet as well. That's 3 points achieved for Tiamba in a matter of seconds here, Blank.
आतंकी knock finish हो गया भाई क्या सीन चल रहा है भाई क्यों नहीं हो रहा है यार
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ. Is it a self-denial? It might be. That is an incredible.
ठीक है अरे क्या
result already for Tiamba, and they should be able to get the easy res beacon. They've already cleared out most of the
for Tiamba. A powerhouse in the survival
ऐसे ना करो जी तुम
for Tiamba. A powerhouse in the survival stage and again delivering early into Rondo.
भाई टियान वगैरह 6 किल भाई 6 9 6 पॉइंट उठा लिए भाई इसने यहाँ से होरा ने 3 उठा लिए एनएस 3 उठा लिए ओजी भाई तीनों खत्म गॉर्डन क्या कर रहे हो ओजी भाई ओजी नहीं ये चीज नहीं एक्सेप्ट भाई जो भी स्ट्रीम पर है भाई लाइक सब्सक्राइब कर देना यार लेकिन ओजी यार नहीं ऐसे नहीं पूरा ले गई भाई तीनों पॉइंट उनके पूरा ले गई भाई तीनों पॉइंट
Start as you mean to proceed, it seems then for Tiamba on today's games.
NGX और SPG दोनों की फाइट चल रही है भाई
Zizzy there from Nonship. Going to be able to force him out early. Nice.
पूरा ने एक और पॉइंट ले लिया भाई लेकिन लॉर्ड नाइस नेट बहुत प्यारा नेट था ये
gorgeous stuff here. But for
क्या नॉक
STG,
करके
got the chat with them for a little bit. I've always
ये
actually
लॉर्ड
got a
में एक और
haircut
नेट से
when
लॉस कटेगा
they were saying that they have the aggression, and that's what they're bringing here in the finals. It's what Ulf kind of lacked a little bit of. But for that Turkish team, they were looking to bring that aggression over in the group stages. They're looking to bring it again here. They've had a lot of time to study those teams, but lots moves up and already is down. It's Kamikaze.
Nice, nice, energy, nice.
One nade, one dream.
फ्लैश डैमेज गया क्या लगता है नॉक अरे बहुत ही प्यारा भाई बहुत ही प्यारा
back from Kamikaze on low HP will at least secure that one. Ralph goes in aggro though with the shotty and absolutely
S2G ले गई भाई S2G तीनों पॉइंट मतलब प्यारा खेला भाई लेकिन थोड़ा चो
We do have a Western circle. We didn't get to talk about too much. Flash already has tops in that region, so Jalting that place can hold a lot of teams late game. Aaron now coming against with barest amount of HP, but at distance it's Milu once again. Tiamba up to 8 probably after this.
This is the dream start for Tiamba. And Milu, the fact that he's got 6 individual eliminations alone, mate, he was just popping off back in the games we'd seen previously. If he feeds the hot hand and can keep this going throughout the whole day, good luck.
It's the buffer that we were talking about. And there's no luck involved, but there is luck involved over on the Lucky Spin, which you can join in with us in-game right now for the 2026 PMWC, for the exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set, which you can see on screen regularly in-game.
यहाँ टियानबा के लिए भाई फिटिंग सेट लगी पड़ी है My goodness, Enes, easy by knock, nice यार.
We are looking at 2 eliminations per minute.
टियानबा भाई 9 फिनिश ले गई भाई पहले 5 मिनट में ये देख लो भाई तो.
Coming out swinging today. We know mechanically they're very gifted as individuals, but they're putting it all on the line.
भाई जो
and hey man, that's the way to do it, right? We were
liye
touching on
भाई
the fact that you can
मैं
have
कह
a
रहा
huge
था भाई जो
pop-off
अगर
game on
पहले
Rondo,
5-10
the
मिनट
extra
पॉइंट
buffer
खेलेगा
of
मतलब
points
कौन से
from the sheer
पहले वो
quantity of
टीम
additional
खेल जाएगी
eliminations
पूरा
you can
राउंड.
garner from
यार
this
टियानबा का पूरा
battleground.
मैच है.
It's worth its weight in gold, especially in a 3-day finals environment like this. You gotta get in there and get stuck into the thick of it, and Tiamba are doing just that.
Again for Tiamba, their biggest success in the survival stage was the fact that they started out so incredibly hot, where it felt like all the weight was off them a lot of times. That Milu making that 1v4 look real easy, I think that came from the fact that they had nothing to lose at that point. They were already in.
5 पॉइंट निकाल लिए अच्छा है यार. वाइटलिटी का खेल रही है भाई.
We haven't talked about it too much so far.
Single point
but we
lagi
do
bas
have
vitality
smash
abhi tak.
ruling this
OG
event.
तीनों recall होगा
And
quarter
not
like तो fight
only
नहीं
does
लिया
that
सिर्फ
mean
1 point
that, yes,
लिया
you
फिर
can win
भी
technically game 2, but it also
40
means the
for
further
like
you are
IQ.
ahead, the harder it is for teams to catch
Rotation
up to
पे
you
चल
to
रहा है
also
भाई.
get into that smash ruling. So we are looking for more similar result to 4 Thrives as well as Vitality in terms of how far they sent themselves ahead in those rankings to make it difficult for any team to catch up to really engage that smash ruling on the final day. Might be coming down to match 6, honestly.
कोई नहीं एडमिनो को पता नहीं लगता है FL की टीम आ रही है.
Yeah, it will be a fun little storyline to see how that affects things going into the last day of competition. How big of a barrier that'll be, and really if other teams will have to rise up to the occasion for it to even be a potential pipeline for them.
सॉम में भी just cover देगा ऐसे
That's
खेल
one
रहे
for the
लोग.
future though, but now it's in the back of your mind. You have that context with just how much these early points matter for some of our squads. Two sides that you touched on there, though, of course, being Vitality and 4 Thrives, they were dominant in both of their respective groups. Easily the best squads we saw when it came to how consistent they looked and how aggressive they were.
Yeah.
Vitality even kind of completely blowing away what we thought was the upper limit.
Vitality बीच की तरफ खेल रही है भाई.
I think they knocked it out by 1 point, but even that 1 point is a hard point to squeeze out in such a short amount of games. For Tiamba, it's a little less impressive, I would say, just because you are playing with the dregs coming through from the group stage. We already did send what we assume to be our best 10 teams forward there. Yeah. Even so, Tiamba still looked very strong, and for them, it was more a case of switching it on in those moments. And they've done exactly that. It looks like all the lights are on at home right now for Tiamba. They are burning the midnight fuel.
Aurora की fight हुई थी ना.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Vitality भी गई. Aurora अच्छा Tiamba और
speed at which she was like. Was that 1v4 again? Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Technically,
it feels like it is, especially when you then factor in, by the way, we had the one clean 1v4 he won. We then had a 1v4 attempt towards the end of survival stage that resulted in a winning free elim to going down as the last guy. The conversion rate we've had on raw 1v4s from him has actually been unbelievable.
I think we're more astonished that that might be a 1v4. I mean, we didn't even clock it because it's like, is he just doing this repeatedly now?
क्या लगता है कहाँ शिफ्ट था?
Full on butcher blade coming out from Elu.
Stadium.
Crazy.
Love to see it. So it goes over towards that northern side. A bit of an awkward res beacon on this one as well, down towards the lake. Definitely possible to go for, but you get caught out on the bridges coming out from that area a fair few times here, Jackie, and also there will be teams playing around that spot, trying to hold teams out. Orangutan, though, nice rotate on the north side, will be able to get them further into the circle.
शिफ्ट हो गई upper side में, मतलब पूरा northern अगर area चली गई S2G, ये पूरी भी टीम अगर ऊपर की तरफ खेल गई ना, बहुत अच्छा point मिलेगा भाई इनको, उनके पास इतना safe रहेगा, क्योंकि उन्होंने पूरा back के लिए रोक, उनको पीछे की दिक्कत ही नहीं है अब. OG और EA की fight होगी भाई.
Arena, a position they'd love to play towards in a final circle, but let's see if they can win out versus Orangutan. Straight through the door, and it's easy clean up on the opening 2 players. Aaron Wisgard down in a matter of seconds. Back down to a duo once again.
4 Thrives taking down a tanky there as well.
नहीं,
leaves Orangutan just on one singular player, AKOP, who is sending for a res beacon. I think he might go for Bailey on this, actually, Jackie. I don't think he's going to stop off early over towards the lake. Like we said before, you get a res off there, teams know it's happening, they will hold you out. So he is forced to go for the long rotate. But honestly, for Orangutan, it's not terrible, because they can just swing back in from that northern side. And it's fairly free with where most of the teams dropped off down towards the south.
Yeah, thankfully, he's got just enough time. Pulls slightly further out as well, hedges his bets, he goes up towards the top of the north side, going to get that recall in. See Vitality on screen here as well. Just the one elim to start us off with Razy.
NSG, NGX और Vitality fight हो सकती है. अगर वो थोड़ा सा close आए तो damn sure fight होंगे.
I like the Cray twins, bro. He just terrified when you see them coming at you.
क्या points?
I mean,
One of them bringing the double hammers as well. It's a bit of a nightmare, honestly. And they are always looking for a proper shootout.
ठीक है सुजी की फाइट हो गई जोकर
It's nice to see Axel as well as Federalis. I mean, Axel really
confirmation नहीं ईडा की फाइट 40 साल
because there had been so much talk about Razy and Razy. Federalis has also had a massive amount of tenure throughout the entirety of PUBG Mobile, but Axel was just swinging and not missing.
परिवर्तन होता जाएगा मेरे
So
दोस्तों
that's what gives me a lot of hope, and I'm very, very excited to see this team perform as this tournament goes on, just because of how good all of them have been playing individually and as a unit. Taking a look at Godlike though, they're over towards that center side. I think Godlike showed us something different from their region. Honestly, they have some great aggression. I think they've been making little adaptations here and there, figuring things out as they go along. But genuinely overall, we're impressive. They were second best inside of their group, only beat out by Vitality.
जाउटिन पे है थोड़ा परहेज में लेकिन भाई S2G OG के पास अभी पूरा बैकअप प्लान है बैकअप प्लान इन द सेंस पूरा बैक खाली है उनका ना OG थोड़ा ऊपर भी खेले अगर ये बीले की रिच पर आ जाए या बीले का थोड़ा कंपाउंड लूट के थोड़ा स्टेडियम के ऊपर हिल पे चली जाए स्टेडियम में थोड़ा क्लोज आ जाए तो पहले S2G क्लियर होती है फिर एनएस से फाइट ले सकती है ऐसे कर सकती है
surprises in store for us the longer this one goes on.
Yeah, Aurora, they just seem to have this capability to choke in the finals.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's their major issue. Every single player on that team has greatness inside of them. It just seems to dwindle a little bit once we get to a finals. And we've been asking for that not to be the case for the longest time.
फ्यूरिया भाई बस एज खेल रही है चलो अच्छी बात है ओजी के पास शायद हीलिंग की कमी है इस वजह से उनकी हेल्थ बिल्कुल लो पड़ी हुई है
you can't really put them down too much for that. The fact they're in most of the finals is that's already a big achievement. Reefers though opening up over towards Yasser from Alula. Tiamba's cut out on that eastern edge. Now there's a lot of these big pillars involved inside the circle as well. Stadium over towards that northeast side, which is a bit open on the outer edges. It slopes down into it, so if you are E-Arena, you can kind of swing past here. They also know this area very well. It is their drop spot.
Vitality ने अच्छा जोन पकड़ रखा है यार.
Down towards their southwest stadium.
कागज की तो स्लैम आया. किसी न किसी का स्लैम आएगा भाई इस कंपाउंड में पक्की बात है.
Excited to see what the form of Fury is going to be looking like in a final situation again as well. They were massively coming alive, dude. Felt like it was way better in terms of the decision making, communication was on point. A lot of the fine witness from them.
Same way don't लगाड़े बजे नहीं सब कुछ.
Just playing so brilliantly with some of the individual plays. Feel like a whole new man showed up. We spoke about this big man though, and he's back on our screens again. Milu scouting around, seeing if he can get a line of sight potentially. Just playing close towards the geometry here at the cliff face.
है जिसमें ईगल का एक भी नहीं है,
aren't too far
एचिंग का भी नहीं है, QZZ और मिलू के भाई 6 और 3.
Get some elims on board. Every single one over on Milu and QZZ, but these guys are the fraggers on side. A-King, a lot of times playing off the back of him. Eagle, very, very good at playing that anchor style. Generally is the last player to go down. Plays that survivalist very well.
Gordon बहुत रुक कर खेल रही है भाई. मतलब Gordon ने अंदर इसको भी यूज़ नहीं करा मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है.
Was a big surprise.
Yeah.
They've got big names on that team like Chief, Ayala, Silence also
40,
doing a lot of good work. But yeah, Egos was just really giving it to a lot of these squads. Now we're getting in towards
और ULA को पीछे धक्का दे सकते हैं अगर ULA देखे ना तो.
Quite a lot of damn teams still involved.
Clause अगर देखे ना तो है ना. उधर फाइट हो सकती है ईडा 40 ये अगर 40 का इको नॉक है ये पुश करेगी थर्ड पार्टी का ईडा भाई जो भी स्ट्रीम देख रहा है एक लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कर देना ठीक है जो प्रेडिक्शन मैं कह सकता हूँ वो बता रहा है और क्या हो सकता है ओजी थोड़ा होल्ड करे तो फोरोरा की फाइट होगी सिर्फ 40 की फाइट हुई ईडा के साथ जैसे ये बात हुई थी एनएस ने भाई काम खत्म कर दिया एसपीसी का भाई मतलब क्या है गंदा
And only one man in last, forced to bail out and try and keep their dreams alive.
चिट्टी हो गई भाई पहले खत्म होने वाली होगी क्या लगता है ईडा
as well, clashing against Ida Blank.
ईडा
I mean, Ida tried to get
ईडा भी एक बचा ना
northeast side, which I think is
At this point, a little bit too late. They got crunched in by Vitality as well as Aurora. I think you somewhat deserve that coming into this stage of the game. Joutin's still far on the western side, but because it's such a big amount of landmass with a lot of places to play, you do see a lot of teams confirming here early, but you sort of want to be on that end where Aurora is, Vitality, where is those clear exit points across the road. A lot of other teams have to take something a little bit more unfortunate. Fourth rise though, Joker stepping up to the plate here, spraying through the smoke. There's one close. He's giving himself away though, Jackie.
Yeah, this is risky, bro. IQ has to be so swift with the shotgun here. It's Joker just teasing them.
40 team khatam. EA versus 40 fight
already down to 4 fries. This would be a hellish way to go down, and that's how they fall in our opening game. Arena.
मिनी सेकंड का था भाई वो छोड़ देना चाहिए था टियान और यूएलएफ भाई खत्म यूएलएफ का एक ही बंदा बचा हुआ वो भी आगे खत्म हुआ
And Tiamba puts up more
Wolf
points. Milu on a fat 7 so far.
Wolf का एक बंदा बचा ऑल डेड Wolf भी खत्म पूरी
They want even more. Squeeze whatever points they can get out of this one.
नहीं Wolf का Aaron बचा हुआ
had to
है
tuck his tail and absolutely bolt
Spot
it.
नहीं कर रहा बस अभी तक
Finds a lone rock in the field and gets his head down. Turns his attention back up onto him though. Few shots as he dumps the magazine towards Milu.
जो eliminate हो गई है proper
Milu is just out of control this game. You're right. Needs to be leashed.
Confirm दे दे भाई बस confirm दे दे
confirm from where if it's Fury, you're actually taking a couple of pot shots over towards them.
Wait कर रहा हूँ भाई confirm
not letting up, just about press.
तुम दो बंदे हो जो निकाल सकते हैं ऐसा मैच पूरा
They're going to take the blue for a little bit to try and deny those sidelines. They make their way over towards the pagoda. Just about in here, Jackie. Difficult spot to play. Curious to see how it does work out. Aurora, it seems like both them and Vitality have been tossing a couple of curveballs at one another. Everyone does find Eagle.
गया
Goodness me, still being abusive on that east side.
मतलब ओजी ने ये कंपाउंड पकड़ लिया आरू एक कोने पे वो एक कोने पे एसटीवी का लास्ट बंदा बचा ये लॉस चल देखते हैं कब तक प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट लेके जा रहा है
Force out the utility, see what he can scrap through onto them. Really make a move towards that recall of the zone coming in. That's going to really crunch up away from all of them. Still dead center for Vitality.
OG और OG के पास भी है
a really good spot here.
एडमिन के पास और व्यू तो लॉस को देख एक पॉइंट यहाँ से ले सकता है
northeast side of Knees B, but they also can crunch every single team on that western side. There was one player left remaining from Ida. It is Darkin. He is over on the eastern side of Joutin, just hanging out for the time being, but that does kind of save grace for Vitality, because they'll hear the shots immediately if someone tries to rock over towards Darkin. Just give them a brief opportunity to reassemble and reassess how they want to play off on that eastern side. Replay here from Federal is just
माइनर स्पीड से हमारा भाई क्या मतलब बहुत छोटा गैप होगा
reaction speed. He is quick with it.
हो गया भाई फाइट हो गई टियान बो वाइटलिटी दो नॉक
so good plays all Federales no one clears it.
Hello,
he doesn't get the playoff. They turn around back onto it and Federales falls. What's gone on there?
13 pointer match अभी तो और पॉइंट आने हैं.
By the way, they have practically mostly lived it. Only QZZ goes down. I don't know how Tiamba is here. They immediately scarpered from that south side and they took the most bold push.
खत्म लग रही भाई मुझे वाइटलिटी में
goes down. I was like, goodness me, Vitality's going down to Tiamba of all teams.
Mate, this is lunacy. Milu's looking for the nade as well, wants to really commit to this. Meanwhile, the last man from Ulf goes down. They fall second into our first game. Milu priming the nades.
Oh, nice. Good nade from them. Hits it back. Axel and Razak still up and kicking. That nade looked dangerous. Milu's down, tries to crawl his way back in towards the smoke to mask his presence here.
इतना नहीं घुसना था मेरे भाई इतना नहीं घुसना था
last of a player up, probably the one you want to see as well here for Tiamba. 14 eliminations this game so far, though still decent. That is
हो गया रिवाइव लेकिन यार जो वाइटलिटी यहाँ वॉश हो सकती थी ना वो
the res is going to get them back up. The insane bit was as well, it was the nades from Aurora from all the way in the back line that got that initial knock back over onto Milu. Vitality have just been caught in the middle of it all. Most aggressive game of badminton with nades being bounced over the top of their heads. Molly in round the corner. QZZ with a nade back.
He's just going for it.
Angle. Good night. The shotgun knocks them both out.
बहुत तगड़ा भाई 16 पॉइंट मैच हो गया अभी भी प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट और आने हैं डॉट पे
That's it then, but he's like, if I can't do it with a nade, I'm just facing. I'm fully facing. Now Aurora, they're pushing on the sidelines. Can Tiamba hold? 2 versus 4 here. It's a tough one. The opening grenade is not good, but Reefus is taking a ton of damage. Top will at least find QCZ, and it seems like Milu will also go down. But 16 eliminations.
लेकिन भाई एस पावर going
out in 11th.
I'm sure you can hear that. The entirety of the arena here in Paris lighting up. A spectacle to start here on game 1 of Rondo, and it's Tiamba that lead the charge. Now out of the running, let's see if anyone else can try and mirror their success with what remains.
Flash moving over towards Aura. He's on the south side. They're kind of fighting for nothing on this one as well because they need to leave at some point in the near future.
Flash की fight ना.
Jiggle. It's a fair bit of damage. Flash
damage
in the back line here, lining up a grenade inside the warehouse. Hard to pop these off
पड़ी पीछे से पड़ी NS की fight हो गई एडमिन के साथ ओह क्या तगड़ा
Tizzy just lets him run straight into the barrel.
एडमिन नॉक फिनिश
Shotgun straight to the cranium.
एस पावर नॉक फिनिश हो गया सामने भी मर गया
Godlike clap back upon from Schweitz in the distance as well. Gets an angle onto it. This is looking tiresome for both teams. I mean, Nonshin down to just the duo. Godlike with only 1 man left remaining. And Alula, they've seen the blood in the water. They want to see if they can roam over. They smell potential points here.
Why not? Honestly, grab them where you can. Alula sends up Yasser. Nongshim Red Force has not got the reset online at all. Still climbing nades upstairs. There's going to have to be a big hole. Tizzy on the outside. Luckily, that Molotov is not on target. Tizzy's just going down.
Finish. NS खत्म यहाँ पे.
Wait, this is nutty out there. Tried to drop off the top of the rafters, spamming the shots. It's all gone.
I feel like Tizzy just panicked.
I think so.
Just get the res in, bro. Drop the smokes, get the reses. They missed the first molly.
मारने
At least charging the res. Goodness me, man, you're going to go down to a perfectly placed Molotov here from Alula. I mean, hats off to these guys. They currently control the entirety of the northern side to themselves. Irina looking to put up another good point here. Aurora playing with our hearts right now.
Aurora
opening up with maybe a gargantuan game. Leading into believe it is possible once again for Aurora.
Swinging as well.
Flash की team में.
Might have been a bit quiet in terms of the overall aggregate elims we've seen to this point, but we know it's a team that can deliver with some consistency late game. They've got nades as well. Oh, the red zone forming on top of the arena.
I don't know.
Thankfully for them, a little bit of deployable cover will make all the difference. Turney K in the back trying to keep his eyes on what's going on, but if you flick to the elim feed, you can see Doc's doing damage. The scalpels come back out for Aurora. And blank, it was 16 for Tiamba, but Aurora now on 14 elims. They might be able to lap them.
Aurora have been just stamping away here. Reefus again does find Aru. AKOP inside will be able to grab win. Actually didn't even grab that. But for OG, they live a lot longer than expected. But with 0 eliminations, they will not get a huge amount off this game other than the place where points get called. AKOP inside. Has to move soon. Might just end up denying the point here. Reefus spraying in. Has 217 bullets as well. So they have had a lot of loot crates to pursue and peruse.
Just trying to keep himself sustained and run the clock down on this one as long as possible. See if he can deny it out to the blue potentially, because if he goes running in there, that's just another point for Aurora.
He's trying to get an extra placing on this run, but I don't think anyone else is going down anytime soon. Still more. He's mistimed it. Yeah, unfortunate.
Nice.
I think he thought that the angle was bad for him, so pulls off the first aid kit there. Sadly, not able to rank up once again. If he waits a little bit longer, maybe he would have ranked up over E-Arena here, who will go down shortly, I imagine. Turney K not able to weather the pressure here from Alula, who have been impressive this tournament for a team that was kind of down on their look last year. I don't think a lot of people had high hopes for this squad. They have come into EWC looking fairly decent, like a lot of work's been going on for the squad. A lot of practice in the meantime. But Enigma Galaxy up in top
Ula no.
3. A rocky group stage for them, but we're still able to grab those points. And I do attribute some of that to Coops. He is a nuts player on side.
He's been a big King Cooper for this team, bro. Wearing that crown with some of the plays he's making. He wants to slam down on the off-angle peak behind the vehicle here. Alila trapped, cowering. One by one, they eat the bullets and they fall. Huge step up from Enigma Galaxy. And enough time to fix their HP as well before any other fights are forced. The only solo player from Furia, he got just trapped in the ditch between our two teams that are going to scrap for the dinner. And Top finds that one for an extra elim.
Just instantaneous shots coming through. So we're down to Aurora. Reefer swings very wide here, over towards the northern edge. Positions. An awkward angle like that could make them very worried. Has a little bit of heart cover here, but he's outside the zone. Going to wrap back, but at least got the info on side. Coops tries to hit the shots, has to go for the reload here. Going to go for another as he passes on by. Again, I do think for Enigma Galaxy, Coops is a really big deal. Not just on his own, though. It's the fact that Lord has someone to play off. Yeah. Lord is also a very aggressive player, but Ralph and Satan, they like to take it slow, and that's great. It works out, but you do need someone else to move forward and bank off of one another. So for Enigma Galaxy, I do think this is the perfect setup right now for them. Joel will move forward into the smoke line. 17 eliminations on the game. A teaser, potentially, from Aurora. And we'll hold our breath for it. Ooh, nice. Just unreal.
The
shrapnel hitting hard.
Oh, he knows.
Enigma.
He knows, Jackie.
Look at the lineup. Wants to get it behind the cover flare. Barely, but they bait him out enough. That's more chip damage. Coops on half HP. Could be good.
Oh, this is annoying. This is very frustrating for Coops. It's really slowing down. Giving quite a bit of time for Aurora to reposition off the back of this as well, because both the front targets have been distracted, discombobulated in the chaos. Thought it might be a little harder for Aurora to get back into the circle. They also know the north side's free after that original rotate from Reefus. Ralph had to go back up that angle. But they have all the knowledge in the world going forward here. They've opened up the full library on this game.
बच गया भाई डीओ की बच गया
by Coops as well. He's down to 2 nades and 1 Molotov. Ralph actually being isolated from his off-angle peek round the backside. That's half his HP gone. The vehicle detonates in front of him. One Blessing has got a little bit more cover to try peek off of, but no easy rotation.
Still the 4v4 here. Utility down to nothing on side of most of these players.
Right, so rotate दे दिया
भाई. It'll be a dry gunfight, and honestly, on top form, I do think Aurora beats them out on that. Coops and Lord though, deadly duo. Prime at the 2 nades. Doc is up front. Is this the dockening once again? Takes 2 nades. Just will tank them. But there's 2 more coming, and I'm not sure he'll be able to do the same on the next. They both go wide. He's going to push forward into the smoke. We'll have to swing back, but one player goes down the back line. It is Top, and now Aurora's down to 2. Enigma Galaxy is making this happen.
They're standing tall right now. They want to convert this one into a chicken dinner win on game 1 as 2 of Aurora's players buckle under the pressure. Ruthless falls. It's all down to the last man in Joel. They need to isolate the peak because he hits Lord heavy, but he's gone. Cut short. The Aurora is gone.
That is
nice
insane. That is insane, Jackie. I got to eat my words on that one as well. I mean, for Enigma Galaxy, what a good game. Did say though, Aurora do like to choke.
The crazy thing is, it was probably the most fitting head-to-head of 2 teams we could have.
Yeah.
Similar contrasted play styles, the way they split off, confident their 2v2s, the off-fan.
मैं बताता हूँ क्या हो सकता था पॉसिबिलिटी. दो टीम बची है यहाँ. NGX Aurora. ठीक. उनको पता है एनजीएक्स का एक बंदा नॉक है. जैसे एनजीएक्स का एक बंदे ने राइट में फ्लैंक दिया है, ठीक है, मतलब यानी कि अगर मैं अपने आप को ऑरोरा की टीम में रखूं तो मेरे हिसाब से वो लेफ्ट में आया है, राइट. ऑरोरा का डीओकी ऑलरेडी वहां था. ऑरोरा का डीओकी वहां था. उसको वहां से देख सकता था कि उसको नहाने, मतलब रॉफ को जो भी है रकूफ, वो रोक सकता था डीओ की, लेकिन वो नहीं रोक पाया। क्यों? क्योंकि उसका वहाँ एक बंदे की फाइट चल रही है ऑलरेडी, तो वो फंस गया भाई वहाँ, वो वहाँ फंस गया मेरी जान। कुछ नहीं हो सका उनका, उनसे वो बंदा बचाया नहीं क्या। और यहाँ रिफ्यूज थोड़ा सा चोक करके भाई स्प्रे में नॉक था वो अच्छा सा, देखना भी तुम देखना जरा तो। अब देखना, ये यहाँ से देखो तुम, नॉक दिया, वहां से नेट आया, लॉर्ड ने नेट फेंका बराबर, इसके पास हीलिंग थी, ये हील कर रहा था मस्त आराम से। लॉर्ड का बनता कि थोड़ा पीछे रह के खेलता, बराबर, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, नॉक हो गया, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। अब ये रिवाइव देने जा रहा हूँ, हो गया थोड़ा सा। जाइलो जोइल जो भी है, ये इतना प्री फायर दिया है कि भाई ये यहाँ ये चीज, अगर ये चीज कनेक्शन अच्छा सा था ना भाई रिफ्यूज का, ये वाला, तो पक्का इनका चिकन था, तो इनका चिकन को कोई नहीं रोक पाता भाई। यहाँ इनका लूप खत्म, खत्म खत्म भाई। सी यू, कल मिलते हैं, ये वाला सीन हो गया इनका, समझे। मुझे 2 मिनट दो, शॉर्ट बना देते हैं। इनका इंटरव्यू सुनते हैं यार, रुको।
You guys must have watched the survival stage. What did you think about the teams and gameplay overall from the survival stage?
It was kind of little passive, like the previous group were too much aggressive, or maybe they were one more chance, that's why they were aggressive, and this was a survival stage. But I think Tianba got the momentum, and the top 6 were expected, as we have decided already in the podium thing that we have a fun activity over there.
Yeah.
भाई Tianba ने
I think
starting
gave
से
a
dominate
little
करा
bit
भाई,
surprise, and I hope
complete
so they
dominate
perform
करा
good
भाई
in
Tianba
grand
ने
finals
starting
also.
से।
But I'm hoping for Tianba to carry forward
जैसे
the
ही मैच
momentum
स्टार्ट हुआ
that
ना
they
भाई
have
Tianba
already
ने
got
dominate
in
करना शुरू
survival
कर दिया।
stage.
How about you, Aru? What did you make of the survival stage?
We tried to grab as many things as we could from the playstyles and the lobby structure, to get a better understanding and to be able to predict better what the structure of the finals lobby would look like. And obviously we don't really fear anyone, but yeah, there are many respectable opponents that we need to respect in game as well, as much as we should, not more, not less. So yeah,
exactly
we are
the point.
confident coming to the finals and looking the survival stage. We know that when teams have like only one last chance, it's like they play more in pressure, and yeah, that's it.
All right, so I wanted to actually ask a bit of a fun question, since we've got two fantastic teams here. I'll start with you, Aru. If you had to take a player from Admino's team and add them to your roster, who would you pick and why?
Maybe Espoir, because he's really consistent.
Okay. Same question to you, Admino. Who would you take from Aru's team and why?
Aru insists because he's a good IG.
What do you think about that? You think you're a good IGL? You think that's fair?
I don't know, I just work.
All right, so kind of final thoughts, final kind of look at the finals as a whole here. I'll start with you, Admino. Well, what's your expectations here for the final? Obviously, it's an amazing lineup of 16 teams, arguably one of the best lineups of all time here at PMWC. So how do you think your chances are here?
Well, I wouldn't be saying anything. I'll just prove it by performing over it.
Nice.
Perfect. How about you, Ari? What are you thinking for the final?
I'm just here to play and enjoy the 18 games because I love this game. I don't want to feel any pressure or, set unnecessary expectations from myself. If we are going to enjoy the game, inside the game, then we are definitely going to perform well as well.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me, and best of luck today.
Thank you, Kalaris, for that amazing interview there with Admino and none other than Aru. But it does end up coming down to Aurora at the end. Even though Nigma Galaxy won, congratulations, Nigma Galaxy. I gotta give this team some props because we're finally seeing the MVPs show up for that squad. But Nigma Galaxy, Coops, especially at the end, what a surprise for them being able to come out with a win.
It's so nice. Just in my notes, I just have coops because that's all you gotta say,
He does.
really.
She
I do.
does,
Can
yeah.
confirm. Yeah. See,
Confirm.
see that? Yeah.
I can't read that.
Yeah, my handwriting's not great. But Coops was awesome. I really love the jump that they're coming through throughout that game, right? They played on that edge side. They waited for their moment. They bided their time. And what I loved particularly here, Max, was their push onto EA was not super aggressive. All they wanted was space inside the zone. They didn't go for that full push and that full clear of the team. They're just like, hey, we want some space. We're going to take it from you, take a couple of points as well, and then wait some more. I really liked that from them.
I have an idea, but this is just pure speculation. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm like, maybe they slowed down the fight into E-Arena, hoping Al-Ula would go for a third party, and then they could let them fight each other and pick off the rest. I don't know if that was the actual reasoning, but it's how it worked out in the end, and because of that fight in particular, they get a 23-pointer tied with Aurora Gaming.
Lace, and we get just pure aggressiveness right off the bat. This feels like a PMWC finals, baby. As 3 teams were able to get 13 or more eliminations. Aurora with the 17. Tiamba started off hot as well.
Man, I did not like. I mean, we came
Or
out of
like,
that survivor. It's
that's
just I just
OG
love the fact, right? I'm just getting so excited, so passionate here, that the fact that they carried on
God like
the
this पे
same
खत्म करिए भाई
momentum
OG
that
13 को खत्म
they
करिए
had.
let's
I
see
mean,
कि
it was exceptional from
कहाँ
them.
जाके खत्म
Obviously,
होता है
just letting the rest of his
Second
team
match start
work
होता वो
those
भाई
angles whilst he
एक
plays
angle
that off
start हो
angle.
गया भाई
Those angles whilst he plays that off angle in a really,
अच्छा
really strong
sorry
and quite frustrating spot to deal with. But we're heading over to our angle now, so probably a little less action involved, a little bit more calm, chilled out as we head in towards the first portion of the day. Fury at last game did come down to ego once again.
Yeah. And honestly, mate, you know, normally I think you'd favour him in kind of positions like that, where if he had to step up as a solo, it's just how late in the game it was and how strong everyone else he was up against was looking, right? Uncomfortable position to be left in, but hey, they've still squeezed some extra points out of it.
use करेंगे भाई
So it's
लोग
better
OG
than
वाले
it could have been. For some of our other
देखते हैं
talented
भाई
squads, they're far down the standings, but like you touched on,
क्योंकि
Rondo
minimum
is Rondo.
6-7 किल तो लेके जाने पड़ेंगे यार
Normal.
23 पॉइंट पहले मैच में आ चुके हैं
all way down the middle.
Down on that eastern side, Yaz opening here for teams to move into. Gakka a little bit harder to get towards on that western side. North George as well as South George, probably possible. It's just going to be a little bit more of a long approach on that one. Vital is just out early. I don't really ever mind the Kameshki split, honestly, over towards Stalba on that eastern side. You have a lot of position to loot.
OG ने jump किया अपना रोजो
The second team come over here, so it's just a really good position to get set up in the early game.
आवाज आ रही है ना भाई
But man, Tiamba, we didn't talk about them too much at the end of that game, but there is definitely fire in those bellies today. Because to make that push, to make that decision, to just be like, let's have a straight fight on the central compound when we're playing edge, I don't know what's gotten into them.
बॉर्डर गई है हमारा बूट यार्ड
It is so good.
OG गई है रोजो तो बूट यार्ड पे हमारा जोन आ गया पहला
I'll be having that fairly watery circle, mate. Starting off one of these. This has been a consistent trend, at least throughout survival. We had quite a few very similar to this on our start. Obviously, a little bit worse for Vitality with a late rotate all the way down from Stalba with their instant drop from the plane.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. A lot of the rotational tools will probably be removed as well, so it is going to be a long
NGX
rotation.
ईडा
You are correct.
ड्रॉप क्लैश हो गया सतन भाई ओपनर पकड़ने वाले मुझे तो ऐसा लग रहा है नियत थे
Passive game for them, a slower
चल
game for them.
कोई बात नहीं स्टार्ट हो गया भाई लेट्स सी क्या होता
They get down towards
है
Ferry
मैच
here. The yellow's on the eastern side. There's no one around here. It's chilled out. It's peaceful. You get yourself set up nice and early on one of the prior compounds as we head into zone 2.
ईडा का डार्कन
I think the
पीछे
scary thing about this one is
होल्ड
it does
करके
eke
बैठा
in
है
a
यार
little bit of Sosnovka, and there isn't a one.
कूप
There
तो
isn't
पीछे से देख
a
लिया
0%
तो
possibility
दिक्कत
that this
नहीं
doesn't go down towards Sosnovka in the future. It still can. It could even center up around Bridge. Satan on our screens. You know what, the last game, first time I've seen Satan smile this tournament, by the way. Even
मुझे
when
लग
they
रहा है
win,
Satan
he
मरेगा
usually looks like something's gone wrong.
डैमेज गया
He
खाली
enjoyed that one.
He did like
एक और
that
नेड
one.
आएगा
That was a nice win for him.
Yeah, they were chuffed to bits. And to be fair, it was great. You know, nice head-to-head. Two very talented squads. Lots of contrast of play styles, but Nigma Galaxy proving that it was on the money today in that first game. So low on utility, but made every bit count. Can they keep it going, though? You start well on Rondo. How does it look then moving in here to Arangao? Another chicken dinner, big placements. What are we looking at from them? That will be a nice...
NGX को शायद ये नहीं पता कि ईडा का एक
of
प्लेयर
what the
पीछे है
quality of this team's going to be looking like throughout the next
और
2
वो
days.
ईडा वो एक प्लेयर NGX का पूरा गेम बिगाड़ सकता है
This guy's kind of crumbled. They made the similar approach to Tiamba actually last game, but I think what Tiamba did very differently was they isolated the Vitality compound
अभी
away
तक भाई
from
इतना
Aurora, whereas Ida kind of
जितना
came from the north side
गेम तेज
and just
वहाँ चल रहा था
sandwiched
रोंडो में
themselves. I
उतना
thought that was a
1% भी
very
गेम नहीं चल रहा
strange
भाई जो भी
play for
स्ट्रीम देगा
Ida
एक
to
लाइक और
make.
सब्सक्राइब कर देना
I think most of the time most teams would understand that probably don't
ईडा
want to place yourself
कोच
between those two squads.
कोच
Or
कौन
those
है
two
ईडा के भाई
buildings. They're
दोनों
very
कोच
popular
लेकर आराम से भाई
in that location. on
हर
Rondo.
कंट्री के लिए भाई ये प्राउड मोमेंट है यार
But I don't think Ida had done badly before. They
इंडिया
had some
की
really
दो
cool
टीम जो गई है
clutch moments, some super awesome 1v3s right at the end of the games. Like they have what it
रकूफ को
takes to
शायद
be a champion,
आइडिया है
but not like that. Or stop making silly mistakes.
And obviously, we touched on Vitality going down. Kind
मियां
of
भाई
early
क्या कर
into
रहे हैं
that
किले
one.
यहाँ
Two
तो
other squads that I'm assuming towards the end of
इनको
the day
पता नहीं
will
है
be
कि
in a
दोस्त
very
पकड़ रही
different
हैं
place to
आपस
where they
में
are in the standings right now. Would be both Four Tribes and Godlike. Two teams that have got so much firepower. even just individuals as well.
Yeah. Vitality style
that hold four back out immediately,
nice.
mate. You won't only see it, you'll hear it from the crowd.
I mean, he looked happy when I saw him this morning. Ready to go. He's got a little bit of a shy smile on him as well. Quite like it.
It's cheeky.
He is cheeky. It is cheeky. But even when I was talking to him yesterday, he seemed like he was ready and raring to go. The rest of the team all looked happy. IQ is in high spirits, which is very, very good news for the team. Be able to give that advice and those crucial bits of information, where the team wants to go, how they want to play it out. You need all of your team to be happy. Though I am kind of worried about God like an orangutan.
Okay.
Not because of gameplay we've seen so far, just because this is a finals at EWC. I think for them, it would be unwise not to say they're under pressure. I think if you're a fan of both these squads, and maybe today looks a little bit rough for them, I would caveat with that there is a tremendous amount weighing down on them right now, being in such a prestigious finals versus some really damn good squads. I'm hoping they can probably get back into the run of it, like by match 3 potentially. But if it takes till tomorrow, I think that's fine as well.
Coffee
OG
one,
already
black
still
coffee.
showing off that they have
One
the
of
rotations
join.
capability to make it happen. They got far into that late game. Not a lot of eliminations, that's fine. Godlike similarly, still that aggression in play. I like to see it, but maybe not where we really wanted it to happen during that game.
I think it's also for teams like that playing.
Or Rugby fan
other
is why.
squads that were forced to play survival stage, you've had to consistently keep grinding and keep that form on the go.
Yeah, exactly.
You come out from your group in those top team spots, you get a few days off, but that does cool you down a little bit. And the thing that's changed is what's going on behind us. The energy in the arena, the noise, the hype. They're getting excited because 4-5s have made the play. That's IQ with an opening takedown. But that's the difference as well. You come back into this area, Blank. Sure, with the noise-cancelling headphones, they might not be hearing it, but I tell you what, they can feel it. The vibration. I know the floor is trembling under my feet, so it'll be the same down there on the stage for our players. And if you're trying to instantly snap back into that tournament-winning mindset after a few days off with all this going on, it might take a game to try and lock back in.
Yeah. I don't like that, though, from Aurora. Because you can scout that a lot easier just by sending over towards the
dark इनके location नहीं पता कैसे वो वरना वो जाके fight ले ले.
There's a guy up there waiting, try and check the girders. I always think it's an odd maneuver
कर दो भाई जो
to
भी
try
stream
and
पे like
just
subscribe कर दो
send
यार.
someone slingshot them across, and it's like, well, we know there's someone across there though, but you also just lost a player. Like, it's so early into the game, could have even just waited for zone 2. I'm curious to see what the analyst has to say about that, because for me, that's just
और के टॉप प्लेयर ने
EWC, PMWC potential. Right? That's not what
क्या ही
that
बोलूं
is.
मैं भाई.
Yeah, the trade of it. One player's life, one of your squad mates for an information play.
ऐसा ही कौन करता है यार.
It's not the
वो
best
भी इतने
trade
बड़े.
on it. Especially if we see a
यार.
good run out of this game. Goes down to an awkward fight. One player of difference, Blank.
Hell, I mean, even this circle
मुझे ये देख
right
कुछ
now,
याद
where
आता
it's
है.
down towards the eastern side, Fourth Wives knows that.
भाई ये और होगा कि अभी हो जाती भाई.
Time to go for bridge camps.
Yeah.
Like if this circle is further
चल fight
towards
start
the
हुई.
northwest,
ULF
maybe
ने
don't
दिया.
go for that type of thing.
Flash
I think
team
this
पे.
one, if you're Aurora,
Bows
it
not.
shouldn't be a case of, oh, let's check if there's someone there. You should just know.
भाई full भाई आ रही
Devil's in the
भाई.
details. And it paints a very
और
pretty
भाई
picture
कुछ तो
here
अंदर
for
जा
some
रहा है क्या?
teams.
ये को
Aurora
थोड़ी सी भी
results in 3 players alive
कनक
in
है.
game 2 to kick us off. Flash also having 1 player knocked here. Zone
भाई क्या
crunching in.
shift दिया है.
Still in play. There you
40
go,
पे
buddy.
center
Thought that this
मतलब
might be the
ब्रिज
case. On a circle
गया
like that, it's
औरोरा के हाथ
very,
में
very awkward
और
on these
40
type
के
of
हाथ में.
circles,
मतलब
and if
अगर
you
ब्रिज
can
पे कोई
send
फाइट
over
होगी
around
तो
bridge,
दोनों क्यों नहीं आ रही है.
across
यूएलए पीछे
both
खेल
sides,
सकती है.
which is
स्प्लिट देखो यूएलए
super
पे कहाँ
unfun to
एक उस
play.
ब्रिज पे किस पर इसका
Because now
बहुत बड़ा
this really
स्प्लिट है
could
यार.
go back over towards Sosnovka way. I'm
बहुत ही
so
बड़ा split
expecting
है.
it to head towards the northwest. But for Aurora, they're stuck now. As are Alula.
एक कहाँ
Alula's kind of
मिल्टा वाले
considering
ब्रिज
whether
पे
we
और
should take
कहाँ
an
यार
eastern
इस पे
crossing or should we just
दो
pull
दो
towards the
स्प्लिट
ridge
इतना
side on
बड़ा.
the southern edge. Cuts out
स्टार्टिंग में
massive
ठीक है लेकिन यार अब
aspects.
तो
So much water involved. So
राइड होना
teams are
चाहिए.
just going to be
फायर आया
sending towards very
रेजी
key
के
because
ऊपर.
there's safety in that location.
S2G की प्लेट से ना S2G की फ्यूरी है और Vitality तीनों टीम क्लोज वन में ये और ओरा की फाइट हो सकती है भाई हाँ हो गई फाइट जिगल को डैमेज दिया स्लिपी आया नॉक होने वाला बच गया लेकिन जिगल लग रहा है उतरेगा यार डबलिंग कर रहे हैं ना
We've got E-Arena on screen now. This is the POV of Joker.
Tian bar OG नहीं Wizport.
Wizport being hit very heavy. Trying to stay behind the trees, bro. Luckily still alive.
Yeah, great zigzag.
AKOP गया. Tian bar चढ़ गया.
There for a second. He was very close to going down. AKOP actually challenging this, but man, A-King has been making a name for the DBS, right? There's a lot of nerfs that came through. S12K became the more popularized weapon. Despite that, though, A-King has been consistently winning these trades of it.
He's bringing it back in fashion. Seems like the horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite loud there. You see the banner flying. Haru.
Going back in. Let's see what he can do with the DBS.
Wants to prove he's the DB best up close and personal. On to Schwetz with the opener.
अंधा घुस रहे हो भाई क्यों अंधा घुस रहे हो तुम लोग क्यों अंधा घुस रहे हो भाई यार
Another one falls. An orangutan, it all goes down to just Aru. Trapped behind the bike sheds and laid out by E-Arena.
E-Arena.
क्यों बिना होके जा रहे हो तुम लोग क्यों भाई
Stepped up to the plate, but not worthy to sit around here with E-Arena, unfortunately. Some good shots at the start there, but started to crumble slightly. Tony K came in like a demon, though, from the sidelines. I think WizGod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back here. They're over towards the pier itself. Four Thrives mirroring them over towards the eastern side. We are close towards our next circle now. Nigma Galaxy making me laugh at the moment, man. They're like, this circle looks horrendous. We're going to play in our drop spot for the rest of the game. We're going to get very looted.
ऐसा नहीं
But we
घुसने का
think
था यार
about moving. And we're still on Sosnovka with this one. Fourth Rise looking good. Down towards the southern edge here. Vitality trying to confirm over towards that
Blind
compound
push.
towards the field. I don't think it's a bad
Proper
idea.
blind push था यार इनका
Control of the Longwoods that sits around this area. Not sure what S2G is doing. I think they've got boats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like at least one boat in play there. Dream scenario, maybe it's a hovercraft wrap back over to the mainland, grab their teammates, then get involved with the action later. Meanwhile, though, Godlike taking on
power pick करा
Tiambo
मार
Milu.
बढ़िया
On his
keep
last
it up
leg, suffering a casualty there for
एक
the Tiambo
casualty आई
squad.
कोई नहीं वो तो कर लेंगे क्या ही कर लेंगे
One knock onto their roster. This is the establisher. You can see the fight here from the top down.
इस पावर ऊपर शॉट्स आ रहे हैं Tiambo नेट करेगी भाई पीछे से
First nade goes long here. Axe Power holding down the fortress, keeping that drawbridge pulled up. Takes a fair bit of damage here, but he's refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates. Actually, he goes for a swing by, trying to get some information on that. So Eagle's going to move round, understanding the position has been compromised.
Slowly trying to take some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Ooh, only gets worse for Aurora as well. And that's quick from Alula finding them. This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third party that's joined them with that
Aurora की
rotation
एक ही
round
player
from
बचा हुआ है
STG. Looks like they did go back to grab the rest of the squad. Yeah, it was kind of
रिफ्यूज बचा हुआ है ये भी मुझे लग रहा है खत्म हो जाएगा
for them to fight towards them.
खत्म
Interestingly taking
ये भी
it over
भाई नहीं बच पाएगा
to
ठीक है
Godlike, so that battle turns into a third party fight.
अगर तो थोड़ी भी इन्फॉर्म हो तो ये जाके ऊपर फाइट जो नॉक है वो फिनिश करवा सकते हैं और क्या एक पॉइंट तो ले कम से कम लेकिन चलो ठीक है
It's not as safe as they might like it to be, but it is decently central. It feels like the circle's peeling away from Sosnovka at this point. We have very limited space to work with. Alula trying to make the cross.
S2G legi last kill.
Distance. We'll find a shot over towards Aurora there, leaving them at 0. Out of the game early, 23 points is where they'll end. On a single point earned on this one.
So a great start on Rondo, but a bit of taste left in their mouths off the back of the Erangel performance.
These guys have been playing the same game. I think this is the first time they've been inside the circle since the beginning. How does their entry work, actually?
Still
on the bridge.
Yeah, this is kind of unreal. At some point, I thought we'd move.
Sorry.
We're still here. I mean, Sosnovka's still in as well. I cannot believe this.
S2G अगर आपको ब्रिज होल्ड कर लेना तो S2G का चिकन रहेगा भाई। S2G को अपना बस ब्रिज होल्ड करना। क्यों उसका बैक क्लियर है? ठीक है। जो भी बंदा नॉक होगा इस तरफ होगा, अगर उसने अपना स्प्लिट देख लिया और एंगल देख लिया, बढ़िया। खत्म गया। ऊप भी जाएगा शायद, बच गया। लेकिन यार उजी नहीं भाई, ऐसा नहीं करना है वैसा। इतनी जल्दी क्यों फिनिश होना है?
Vehicles are smoking, flaming. Flashes dash with Gal. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about these sidelines at the side. Furia. Ooh. Go on. Give it some welly.
ये नो टीआर वाली फाइट हो जाएगी ये से
once again. Tony K low on HP on the
गॉडल कर रही थर्ड पार्टी देख लेना।
Looking for an angle here, but Falak with the distance
nice, बहुत ही प्यारा है।
Back onto Eagle. A-King gets a little bit high octane as he charges through the ground floor. Nade on the stairs. Mormon's cooking one of his own to bounce down.
बच गया। मैं बोल रहा था, मैंने बोला। नहीं 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 मान्या। क्या बात है?
Good Molotov here, but really good timing from Godlike as they move into this one, just leaving A-King alive here for Tiamba. Arena on the upstairs with the 4v2v1. Really good stuff. I mean, this is a good entry point coming through for Godlike, and they understand if they can get rid of 2 teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space down here. Edmino, still at high HP count, but Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
Tiamba बंदा गया, गॉड एस पावर ने दिया, खत्म। नहीं यार। Oh.
Saying feed me more as Godlike charge into him. Quick decision, but not fast enough on the mantle. And Sume will save it, but at what cost? The only player left alive for the squad.
I mean, Godlike need more men now. They're only down to 1. What a play from Moore.
क्या था ये?
Tiamba goes down.
Smoke on the stairs. Mormon's going to clear it. Oh, straight.
Okay. Edmino माने नॉक हो चुका था। ये सामने भी एक बंदा आ गया। स्क्वाड लगाएगी भाई, ऑफिसर 16 बंदा बचा हुआ है।
The vitality of Victim from the top floor. Or will they just be signing their death warrants on entry? Axel being shot in the back. A new challenger arrives. It's Hora in the distance as Jagah is able to punish and soften them, leaving them with 3 players left. Sume still just guarding the stairs with a nade pin pulled. He's going to go down. Razak going to dive around the corner. He wants to punish him with a shot. He will find it.
Really, really good job from Razak. I think you have to make that play in that moment as well. You hear the pin pull coming down, trying to get the res off. You're trying to go for the revive, get some respite in that location. So Razak goes for the risky play to keep them up as 4, understanding they'll need that amount of players to push through the next couple of compounds. They got Aura in front of them and 4th Thrives after that. Alula down towards the south side circle, finally moved away. Still a lot of water on this one. Beachhead as well. Ida, as well as now going at it.
अब ईडा की फाइट हो रही है। कोई नहीं।
They have 4 players up though right now. This is very easy to recover from.
गलत था भाई, ये चीज नहीं करनी चाहिए थी।
Straight into that one. Catching the as Ida try and clap back. Is good damage. But such an awkward setup between both of them. Casualties on either side. Scarface looking to go for the pick-up play. Meanwhile, outside, Emre charging round with the SMG. Denied out by Nongshim Red Force. Tizzy takes that one.
Nongshim could push this pretty quickly. Ulf is not looking too good right now. Neither is Vitality. Flipping into action. They lose a vehicle. Razy and Razak try and get the buggy through the window. That was a speedy rotor. I like that. You know, cut your losses. Moving through Aura as well as Fourth Rise is going to be hard. And eventually you get third by one of them. You hear the engagement happening on the north. You send it. Now Wolf is in a very tricky spot. Cut between two strong teams in Nongshim as well as Vitality.
Quick decisions. And shades of the Vitality that we were so impressed by prior. Once again, back on our screens, it's only the one elim they've been able to garner so far. But they are licking their lips at the prospect of so much more.
Getting a little bit more here, you get yourself the Naruto skin in-game, as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. Both looking very cool here. Wolf's going to hopefully have to drop a substitution jutsu here to try and get out of this one, because it is going to be hard. Vitality, Razy, Razak move up, quick shots over towards Souls. He tries to move around the corner, Nongshim still in play. They're the ones getting the most of the damage though. Federales at least will confirm one. Quick switch round the side. Denying some of the sight lines. Ulf does go down. Vitality so far.
I जो भी stream देख रहे हैं, like और subscribe जरूर कर देना तुम लोग.
Try and challenge that spot, Razak though. What are you doing? Testing the waters, a little bit hot.
Yeah, did not like the feeling of that one. Although maybe he wants to go for it from a slightly different approach. Runs back out. Meanwhile, attention turns onto Federales, and that is another knock going the way of Nongshim. Oh, Razak.
Oh, yeah, good shots.
He's got so easy, very low. Nade right on top of him as well, following up from that. Oh, mate. Hyunbin with the instantaneous conversion. Now it's a raw 3-on-3. Luckily, they will save Federales, but he's got to top himself back up.
I mean, Razak understood the idea.
भाई मैं उस दिन को वो shotgun वाला clip नहीं use सकता भाई.
Nongshim was quick to it. Hyunbin pushing up right now. It's a little bit close for comfort here. But I think they know they want to get rid of this guy sooner rather than later, but he has pulled these kind of antics before. Getting a little too aggressive without the help of the rest of the team. So easy goes down the back lines as Flash starts to move on through.
Tizzy tries his might. Rapid shots coming out, but not enough to finish Vitality. The end of Nongshim Red Force. But it does leave Vitality slightly weakened. And Flash, they are next in line to try and keep them pinned here, knowing eventually they'll have to move. Slightly paranoid about the other teams that could be behind them.
Blue is ushering Vitality forward. Swinging in on the same angle as Flash. How will they make this work? S2G, you were right. You were actually right. They had two hovercrafts in play. Being able to keep both of these alive all the way through to this end game is giving them a lot of pressure. Loss isn't quite able to get it up though. And the hovercraft is stuck on the side. Yeah, just about. We'll take it.
No.
I mean, that, there's letting it happen.
Nice. लेकिन अटक गया इसका यार और करो. अभी थोड़ी देर में निकल जाएगा यार वो glitch की वजह से अटक जाता है.
His teammates taking a fair bit of damage, but with that added armor of these big hovercrafts in play. If you say like this, man, get them into the zone, there could be a lot you could do with it late game. I'm surprised the Lula have been able to guard this for so long, make it look uncomfortable. Nade after nade as well, just trying to soften them up.
Vitality do move over to the side. They're looking down over towards Fourth Rise. The shots are pouring in. S2G, they brought repair kits as well with them. But the blowtorch
Vitality के पास से वो compound चला गया यार.
On fire. Get out. Falak down. Aura, no fear. Drops them all up top side. Looks fairly decent on that one. Airbursts are slightly too far. This is some comedy.
S2G.
Not gonna lie to you.
Nice, nice. अच्छा था. ये वाला
They
खत्म.
should be able to clean up from here at least, as long as there's not any more mistakes. It's damage done onto Soul K, but they do hold on. Shut down a Lula.
What was that?
Bit of a weird one.
It was a weird one. I'm
Gay,
glad
gay.
he picked it up
Vitality
strong, though,
gay.
because, I mean, it is an important fight. It's just interesting. Vitality go down in the meantime as Flash continues to push the advantage.
दोनों को उठा लिया इसने.
Interesting. Vitality
पलक
go
में.
down in the meantime as Fourth Rise doing that damage. Enigma Galaxy after their strange approach from the early game. Now going out slowly but surely, just Ralph as well as Lord. Flash has been all over the place so far. Next circle will pull in, stage 7. Fourth Rise have been weathering it though. They have held a ton of space. It has been a little bit greedy, but they've been doing a good job of playing off one another. Yes, they've taken some knocks here and there, but they've maintained a 4-man. They're in this area early, and they understand better than anyone else. This is a game that they should be doing well on. I don't think I'd put as much pressure on and say this is a game they should win from the spot they had at the start, but it should be at least a top 5, which I think, you know, we've already achieved. So this is a good game from Fourth Rise and shows that they still have it in them.
And with them being able to have enough timing here to get IQ back up once again, the 2-2 split from them could still pay dividends massively. It's been a very elongated firefight between them and Hora, effectively just mirroring each other's movement up along the ridge into the zone. A little bit more split here, no fear in the back, trying to protect some Overwatch. Right above you in the building as well. Meanwhile, that's an engagement over onto Enigma Galaxy. S2G, after moving in and cleaning out Alula, they head center zone, and they find the final blow there. Goodbye, Enigma Galaxy. S2G stealing points here, there, and everywhere.
Do we have to call this play the kamikaze from now on, where S2G just launch him out like a rocket to center circle and leave him there on his own? This is the kamikaze. This is crazy stuff. The rest of S2G trying to regroup him, but it's not
जोन
likely.
जाना उनको खाली है जो अब बिल्कुल ओपन बैठ गई है लेकिन उस पे vehicle है नहीं.
Hovercraft does go down, not really any other vehicles, might need to regroup, pick it back up again, but Kamikaze, he's going to hold that spot. He's planted the flag, the S2G flag. T24 goes down, jiggle around the side.
Oh, Sleepy. Top side of the
Like,
stairs, but you can't weather the storm as Fourth Rise
Like,
arrives,
mara
and the
is
brain of
like-
the operation kicks in the brawn. The
Nice.
shotgun does damage. Falak there in the back line to assist, but no fear. Charging up. He's going to play on the edge, wants to run in now with the timing, see if he can shut them down. Falak charges back, can't do it. No fear, holds on. Quick switch to the primary. Gets himself onto an off angle. With one more play, if he can shut down IQ, he can take out Fourth Rise, and that's how he does it. No fear from Hora stands on.
Absolutely not frightened in the slightest as he moves downstairs, pushes up into the dark, and Fourth Rise will fall. Win up against the world right now. DPS at distance, he's fighting all of them, but S2G falling in the meanwhile. No fear. There's a possibility of winning this if he wants to push out right now.
Get involved in the action. Everyone's weakened. Doesn't have all the info we do right now. He's going to top himself back up. Play the slow game. That's Flash. Losing their last man there with Kamikaze continuing to punish.
A
horrible spot. Tries to get the heal in. Kamikaze's got a single nade in the back pocket if he chooses to dash it. They've got clear vision now. Peppering the bullets. This is it. Pulls the pin, looking to cook. Let's see if he can land it.
Kamikaze looking for it now, a bit of splash damage. But not that just there yet. Kamikaze keeps spraying the right location with the bullets, peppering the ground, picking up mud. Solke in the back lines. What's left out here? Quite an unfamiliar target. Solke will take down Tops, but Kamikaze is out, and we're down to a 1 versus 1 versus 1. The outside contender in no fear. Solke looking at both angles.
The battle of the solos to decide our second game, chicken dinner.
S2G के पास एंगल अच्छा है लेकिन वो जोन
No fear already picking up that big clutch. He's amped up as an individual. Got a rough read on where he believes Solke can be stationed, tucked in behind this burnt out hovercraft.
I don't think he knows. I think he knows there's a team in that general direction, but he does not know where No Fear is. Hamzy G finally goes down. I think No Fear has a rough idea that he's playing on this hovercraft, though. He has the information. Watching both of them. This would be an unbelievable double clutch up versus Fourth Rise into the last two teams. Zeus is just pushing forward. Instant spot, though, over towards No Fear.
And now Zias with all to do here. Flash, who had swept everyone aside. Solke, the last to fall potentially here versus Team Flash.
Zias, the lightning reactions for Flash have guaranteed them a second place, but can he take it to first, or will Soke get it done for S2G? A smoke wall, giving him limited play space. That tree, the only protection for the peak for Flash. He's going to make his move, starts charging in, wants to close the distance. Here's the peak up, bullets on target. Sweer so low, buckles under the pressure. That's the damage coming through as they lock it in.
S2G, Kamikaze with the Kamikaze play towards the center. It's an explosive finish right at the end. But Solke steps up.
भाई क्या क्या खेल रहे हैं ये लोग, क्या खेल रहे हैं ये लोग, मुझे भी नहीं पता चल रहा भाई। चलो अच्छा है, पहला मैच भी बहुत तगड़ा गया, NGX ले गई। दूसरा मैच S2G ले गई, और हमारी टीम इंडिया यार अभी फिलहाल स्ट्रगल कर रही है थोड़ा सा, ठीक है, डोमिनेट नहीं कर पा रही है। कोई बात नहीं, कर लेगी यार वो भी, उसमें कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है। टीम इंडिया किसी से कम नहीं है भाई, कर लेगी। चलो थोड़ा सा ब्रेक लेते हैं, 5 से 10 मिनट का, आते हैं फिर थोड़ी देर बाद।